Well, my name's Terri. I just want to say I'm 20 years post-op. 20 years post-op from having my surgery. And last year I was actually companion for my 20-year-old daughter to go to Dr. Venezuela. And I guess one of the real reasons that I wanted to get up and let everybody know and talk to you guys a little bit about some of the things that, you know, through the path that you'll go through is because I am a previous patient, but then I've also been a companion and gone over to MBC and had the, you know, as a companion to my daughter to have her surgery done. 20 years ago when I went and had surgery, I had to gain 40 pounds to get my insurance company to pay for me to have it done.
Wow.
That was the only way that you could financially, you know, be able to get help from an insurance company to actually do it. You had to be outrageously having problems and health issues. And it took a point that I had to gain from probably around, you know, 240, 250 up to 280, 290 to be able to qualify for my insurance company to actually pay for the surgery.
It's a conspiracy, you know?
Really, it really was. I mean, and it was, you know, it was a real long fight. And I had to go to counseling, I had to go to nutritionists, I had to go to many doctors. And the thing about it that I never understood is when you really look at it, I had a mother with a history of obesity and cancer and heart disease, a grandmother with a history of obesity, and it was, I mean, you could look down the whole line of my family and there was nothing but obesity, heart attack. My father's side of the family, the oldest living male who was my actual father, who ended up dying about 5 years ago from a heart attack, but next to him, the oldest living male relative in my father's side of the family that had not died from obesity and heart-related issues was in his 50s. And I still had to fight this battle, you know, even when they have your medical records and your history and everything. And I have a picture if anybody wants to see it. I have my pre-op surgery, a pre-op picture of what I looked like. I'm actually holding her, and she's about, she's less than a year old. And I was actually, I was to the point that I was, you know, 270, 280 pounds, and all I could think of was, honestly, I was in my 20s. I was never going to have a boyfriend again. I was a single parent with 2 kids. I was fat, terribly unhappy, and I never thought about the medical issues of it or any, you know, I mean, I really wasn't thinking, oh, I'm going to get high blood pressure, that's going to be really bad. Oh, I'm going to have all of these issues. I didn't think about those things. I thought about the fact that I'm going to be, you know, I can't get up like this every day. I can't get up like this every day. My daughter's bedroom's upstairs, and I can't get up and down the stairs to take care of her, to go get her. She slept in the bed with me, you know, and I just really, my only thought was, I want to go to the club. I want to go, you know, I want to have the life that my kids deserve me to have. I wanted to take them to baseball, take them to sports. I wanted to be out there doing all kinds of things, but I live in Texas and it's 100 degrees. I can't breathe at 250 pounds walking around my 72-degree house. How am I going to go outside and let my kid go ride their bike or go to the park or be involved in anything? And so it was more of a, you know, it was a selfish lifestyle change that I kept thinking, I deserve to not have to wake up like this every single day. On top of even having medical issues and the things that do go on, my true goal was the selfishness of wanting a life for myself. And I can tell you now, oh yeah, here's the picture of my, this is me before,
Oh my.
before I had met. This was 20 years ago.
Big difference.
So, and if you want, does anybody want to see it? You can pass it back. I don't mind. Don't look at my other pictures, I don't know what's in there. I look like this now, so I do go to the club, so don't. But, and I guess, and you know, and it's really funny because I never really thought about it over years and years and years. I never told my kids, never really talked about it. I lost all the weight. I've kept it all off. Do I work out? Yes, I do. I do work out. Am I compliant? Yes. I am compliant. I'm compliant to the fact that I had to go I had to have the procedures that were available at the time. When I had my surgery, I didn't get pictures of like 6 different things that I could do. It was, what are they gonna let me have? And that's what I had done. And I had major surgery. I have scars from here to here, where I was completely, open. It wasn't the nice things that Dr. Venezuela does with 3 little, holes or whatever she needs to have the procedure there. I do have malabsorption problems. I've always been anemic. I do take iron. I am compliant with working out. Now, do I eat what I want to eat 20 years later? Absolutely. I eat what I like. I love steak, I love seafood, I love food. I really never had a real big sugar problem. I never was one that really focused on, I didn't like sweets or desserts or things like that, but I could eat a cow. I mean, when it came to if you put steak on the table, I mean, my quantity of food was so high that it really didn't matter what I was eating, because I was eating so much of it that it was a diet that was out of control. Now I do eat what I want to eat, but yes, I do take doggy bags home all the time. Is my refrigerator sometimes full? You can open the door and there's 20 restaurants in there. Yeah, because a lot of times I don't have the appetite even to go back and finish it. So a lot of times I'll take things home, and I won't go. I do work out at Camp Gladiator, which is basically kind of like a boot camp kind of thing. I do that regularly. There are times when I take off, it's Texas and it gets hot outside and CG's outdoors, I don't go. Sometimes then, when it's really cold and the weather in Texas gets crazy and it's freezing, I won't go. But compliance and following the things that Dr. Venezuela says for you, and the nutritionist and the things that you can talk to are really important. And it will help you be able to say that you know, every one of you could get up here and say, I'm 20 years post-op, and be happy with the fact that you actually have stories other than obesity to talk about what your life has been for the last 20 years. I can't tell you any stories of the last 20 years of health problems. I can't tell you any stories of the last 20 years of not being involved in my kids' lives. I can't tell you any stories about doctors or hospitals or any of those issues, because in the last 20 years I actually have had a life. And that's because I did take the step and I did go in just looking at my family and looking what I needed to do, that I deserve to be able to figure out how to live every single day and enjoy it. When my daughter came to me and she said, Mom, she said, I'm going to be, overweight and I'm having the same problems that everybody, I'm going to look like grandma and I'm going to look like great grandma. And I said, okay. It's like, at the time she wasn't insured. Being a college student and not really, covered back then, we didn't have, So she came to me, she goes, I'm going to Mexico. I was like, what? I was like, well, how are you going to get there? And she was like, well, you're going to fly with me and we're going to go. And she said, I'm going to do this. And at the time she was already emailing. She was fill out this questionnaire for me. She was, I know you get your income tax return. And I was like, yeah, I do. But I was thinking like a new Michael Kors purse, or, I was thinking a new Louis Vuitton. I wasn't thinking of going to Mexico for some surgery. And then, of course, all of the things came up and I started talking to her about it, and I realized that she's not kidding. I mean, she had already gone to the process. I mean, she's bringing me her laptop going, Mom, look at this doctor. She's a doctor. She's a female. It's Dr. Venezuela. I said this, she's like, look, I have this list, and she was showing me these pictures, and I picked Dr. Venezuela because she was a female. And I thought, well, being young as she is, that would be someone that she would feel very comfortable with and could talk to. And let me tell you, it was anyone who has any questions about everything that you saw in that video, all the way down to the door on the van opening by itself so you can get in, happens. The people are definitely real. Everything is real. The Hyatt Hotel is real. It's fantastic. I had the best time. And let me tell you, I was totally compliant to the diet that she had to eat when we went over there, so I didn't go out. She got broth, and I was like, I'll have some too. You know, those guilt feelings of, yeah, that lobster fajita steak, real Mexican food, tequila. Yeah, no, not today. So I ate her diet because I didn't want her to feel bad about, you know, me, the companion, going over there and getting a lot of really yummy food and stuff. So, but, you know, and the hotel had the popsicles, the Jell-O, all of those things that you need. There's a supermarket across the street. I went to Starbucks twice a day and sat on the patio drinking coffee. We ate at Chili's, which is across the street, in a little shopping center. Honestly, I used to joke, and when we were sitting there, we would sit on the patio at Starbucks that looked across to our hotel, and I used to laugh and say, I think I'm the only white blonde person here in town, because you could see and you could watch everybody, you know, drive by and everything, and here I was, this blonde hair and all this stuff, and you know, and I never felt concerned safety-wise. After she had her surgery, art is fantastic. The people at the hotel, they got us a taxi. We went shopping every day. She was walking, so I was like, okay, I gave up my food, so you have to walk. You're gonna walk downtown so I can shop while you're getting your walking in. And really we did. We didn't miss out on anything while we were there. And it was, I mean, I can't tell you what the experience is. And to be honest with you, I had 2 children from pre-op, and I have 3 children post-op. So I have 5 kids. I had 2 before my surgery. I've had 3 after. And I still have no problems. I still have no problems. And to be honest with you today, I'm just very thankful that my daughter's now 21 years old. She's 100 pounds lighter than she was. She still has a little ways to go.
How long did you guys go down?
A year ago.
Oh, yeah?
Almost a year. Yeah. Well, just over a year.
And she's doing good.
She's doing fantastic. She's right there.
You want to get up?
Stand up. Stand up. Say hi. She's 100 pounds lighter. But at 21, I guess, at 21, she's not as, you know, willing to get up here and just, you know, tell everybody about her, you know. Maybe next time she'll be up here and talking about it, but she's compliant too. She does eat the way she's supposed to. She exercises, walks the dogs every night, does what she's supposed to. Did her leak test, never had any problems, never, I mean, the hospital was fantastic. I mean, we didn't have any language barriers. They had a cheat sheet kind of in the room that if you had any questions, and it would, you know, it had kind of a list of basic things, like it told you if you had pain or if you had this, the things that you could say and stuff. I mean, but we never even had any problems. I mean, Dr. Venezuela speaks and understands English fantastically. Any medical questions that we had, and I will tell you, I actually trained, when I first went to college, when I first graduated from high school back in 1990, I was a paramedic, and I flew on North Texas Lifestar. And I will tell you, I've been in a lot of hospitals, I've been in a lot of medical facilities, and there's no question that the compliance and the safety, security, the cleanliness, and all of the things that are at MBC in Tijuana are fantastic. It's, you know, it was clean, the nurses are knowledgeable, the medical knowledge that they have, any questions that they had, because of course me, I wanted to walk in there and I was like, you know, I can ask them these medical type questions, and, you know, they'll know that I know what I'm talking about. So it wasn't even, you know, necessary. They were very honest, open. Any questions that you had, any concerns that you had, it was, I mean, medically for her, it was fantastic. She had her surgery, she got in there, the nurses came in just like they would any place else. It was, let's get up, let's walk around, let's get your mobility back. I mean, when she was hurting right after surgery, they were right on top of making sure her pain meds were right there. And to be honest with you, after that first 24 hours, she was more concerned with, you know, getting up and walking around and getting all those things. She really didn't take a lot of her pain meds. And then once we did get home, I don't believe she took any more of those at all. And she did go back to work pretty quick. She worked in a childcare facility at a country club here in Dallas, and she wasn't able to pick up kids and things like that, but as far as going back and working the desk and stuff, she didn't have any problems going back to work and being, you know, there. So, but anyway, does anybody have any questions or anything? So, but, I mean, honestly, you guys, every single person in this room, when I look at every single one of your faces, I see my face 20 years ago. And I see hope and desire and a future. And you're all, every one of you that are here today, you've made the right decision. You've made the right decision. And the financing options and the options that you have are just, they're here. They're here for you. They can make it work. You can figure it out, because having a life every day is more than any penny that you'll ever spend on it. It's definitely worth it. So, and pick Dr. Venezuela. She's fantastic.